Welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaefer. I am so excited for you to hear this incredible conversation with my girl, Emily, and I am so proud of the work that she has been doing. And we chatted about all things comparison, social media, growing a business. We talked about how to manage your personal life, habits, routines, active things that she's doing in her life to keep her on track. And I genuinely feel like this is going to support you so much. If you guys have any questions, if you have any things that really resonate with you, please reach out to us. Our DMs are always open, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this episode. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Welcome, Emily, to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaefer. I am so incredibly grateful that you are joining us here for this powerful conversation together. Emily is a licensed esthetician located in Cincinnati, Ohio. She has absolutely crushed it in her field. She's a spiritual girly. She is deeply intuitive, very connected to each and every one of her clients. She's wildly passionate about helping women feel like the most confident version of themselves. And a few years ago, her and I met on social media. We're in a place where she was feeling really stuck. She was having this internal dialogue that was not supportive of her goals. And after doing so much work together, Emily has built not only a business that she is extremely proud of, but also an inner world that feels safe and that she can fully be her most authentic self in every single space that she walks into. I am incredibly proud of the success that she has had in her industry, but I'm most proud of the way that she sees herself, knowing that she brings everything to the table in every single conversation that she has. And I'm just so grateful to be connected with her. So we are here to welcome my girl, Emily Coloma.
Introduction. I'm so grateful for the journey that we have had together and just how much growth, how many moments I would call Sav like in the most minor inconveniences. And just I realized so much like along the way how much I was able to support myself. Like
Mhm.
because the goal is, it's beautiful to work with a coach, but then we have to like spread our wings and be able to support ourselves at times. And I feel like the Emily that started working with you versus the Emily that like the day I was like, okay, I think I'm ready.
Mhm.
It was just two completely different people. And it's truly been like such a healing journey.
Mhm.
And I'm just so grateful, truly,
Me
for
too.
for just the whole journey, honestly.
Yeah, me too. And exactly what you said, the part about, how this is such a, like, it's a beautiful experience to work with someone. We worked together for nearly a year, but for you
Mhm.
to be able to just go off and like spread your wings and start actually giving yourself exactly what you needed, like once you learned all of the tools and you had all of the tools in your toolbox, you really started to utilize them. And then our calls were like, 2 weeks apart after that. And then we went down
Mhm.
to like no calls that are scheduled, but now we're always just chatting. And it's amazing because I feel as though you did absorb so much. You absorbed so much. You were so willing to learn. You were willing to implement. And you were also willing to be extremely vulnerable and go there. And that is something that I am so grateful to have been a part of because you were open and honest throughout every single conversation. And we got to go past just self awareness, but also then completely change the way that you were showing up for yourself internally and
Mhm.
externally. And now, right now, at this point in your life, I mean, Emily, you have just had like your highest month in business. You've got a thriving clientele. You're expanding into coaching. You're the most confident and just authentic version of yourself. And I just want you to like take a second to take that in and please like tell me, how does it feel to be in this place now? Like where you're at today.
If I had like one word to describe it, it's like two words popped up for me. It's like peaceful or like just bliss. Because I didn't realize how much time I was spending in my head. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier. I was willing to go into the depths of like the ugly stuff that a lot of people don't want to deal with because it's easier to forget it. I remember I want to just like hit on just my sober journey, like cuz I've been sober from alcohol now 9 almost 9 months. And I realized I used to like with my issues, I would drink them away. Like and because it was easier to like mask things and like not have to deal with them rather
Mhm.
than now I sit in the feeling of feeling uncomfortable and I'm like, all right, let's get down to the root of the problem, why this is coming up.
Yeah,
And I think the more I just got comfortable with that, the the better the journey has been. And
yeah,
that's why I feel like I feel such peace now, even when some things like, even when uncomfortable things happen in life, because it's inevitable, it's life. The more you're just like, all right, this came up. Let me just surrender to the process, the more peace you feel.
agreed. And it was not always like that for either of us. Like for both of us, I think that I've had my experiences where it was almost like anything that went haywire would throw me off completely. And you and I, with coaching you, like we had many moments like that. And just to give a little bit of a backstory with Emily, like when Emily first came to me and we started working together, the first few conversations that we ever had together were about things that happened years ago. And those things, those really traumatic events, were affecting the way that she was showing up on a day to day basis. She didn't have the confidence that she once had. She didn't have the belief in herself. She couldn't trust herself. And there was like really deep things happening. So then when something was presented in her daily life, it could be as small as like a client canceling or going through a hard time in her relationship or something like that. The internal chaos would then take over the external reality where like she wasn't showing up for herself. She wasn't able to focus on the things that she knows she needs to. She wasn't able to get the things done that she needed to. And we could not tackle the day-to-day stuff until we tackled the things that actually were controlling you from like the way that you were showing up. It was controlling the way that you were showing up from the past experiences that you were having. And so we deep dove into a lot of things that were probably extremely uncomfortable for you to chat about, but it was for this other like knowing that on the other side of that is the peace, is the calmness, is the
Mm-hmm.
control, is the happiness that you're looking for, the joy, the success even because now you were showing up for yourself. So I'm curious to know like when you think back on that version of you when we first started working together, what was she going through at that time and what was life really like?
I was falling into comparison a lot because I mean, in the aesthetics world, you can sit here on Instagram and compare your feed to all these other estheticians who are farther in their careers. Their their profile looks so perfectly like put together. It's so easy to fall into that and then feel like shit about yourself. And
Hmm.
I was I felt in that at one point and then I think even with that, I was always, well, growing up, I was always compared to my cousin. And because we were always being compared to each other, I was comparing myself to other girls. And it was just like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. And it truly is, especially when you're trying to build your business, because you can't compare your journey to an esthetician who's been in it for 5 years. And it's like, there's one quote now that I always say, that it's like high grace, high reward. So it's like, give yourself grace if it's something like, if you're like, oh, I wish I would have done this better. But it's like, okay, if you did something and it was done the way you wanted to, and like it worked out, whatever, celebrate it. Like high reward for that. But me before, I would just be beating myself up all the time. I would just get so in my feelings. And don't get me wrong, like I'm still an emotional queen, but I I know how to emotionally regulate more now
Yeah,
than before. Like don't get me wrong, I still have my little moments, as we all do.
totally.
But I'm like, we're only human. But it's just the way I'm able to check in with myself and know like, oh, I'm feeling this way. Why? And start to question my thoughts rather than falling like into a thought spiral.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I feel like
definitely.
that was just happening all the time before.
Hmm. What was
Mhm.
it throughout that conversation that we had that you really just knew this is the moment where like I need to just go all in on myself? Like, why did you choose then versus any other time in your life?
I hmm, I think it's because I saw how much my personal stuff was affecting my day-to-day, like, business. Like, how I was like, "I wanna be successful," but I see all these, like, all these, like, hurdles in
Yeah,
my
hurdles.
path of that I'm having to go through, but I don't know how to navigate them. I was never given the tools growing up about how to, yeah, I went to therapy, but I feel like talk therapy, like, it helped me so much, but I feel like there was more work to be done under the surface, and it was constantly stopping me from getting to where I wanted to be. And I feel like
Hmm.
we were having conversations about so many different difficult things to talk about, but and through having all those conversations, I feel like it helped me to show up for myself in a better way and know, like, I was literally reading through our notes from like when we were first having our calls, and just seeing like you were giving me tools on how to navigate these things to tell myself, um, like affirmations. And I didn't know anything about that before. I feel like that having those tools helped me to be able to pick myself back up
Yeah.
when I felt down.
What do you feel like are the few tools that are in your toolbox that you rely on today to help you emotionally regulate so that the personal stuff is not getting in the way of like work life, relationship, your mental
Mhm.
health, and all those good things?
Journaling, meditation. Meditation's, I think, the biggest one
Hmm.
because I think it's so important to sit with yourself. And let me just say, for any girlies out there who say, or guys, if you're listening, if you have ADHD and you can't meditate, not true. It's just another opportunity to bring it back to the breath. You just get more practice at it, truly.
Agreed.
Because with ADHD, more thoughts pop up. And I'm not medicated for my ADHD. So it it does take me a little while sometimes, but that's, again, give yourself grace for it and then just bring it back to the meditation. Guided meditations have helped me a lot, and shower meditations especially love,
Hmm.
because I visualize literally the negative energy washing off of me. Or in the mornings, I like to do like an abundance meditation where I'm showered in abundance.
Okay, so for the people listening that are like, I don't have time for this. Even when we first worked together, it was like you didn't have time for, these extra little things. You were like, I'm waking up, I'm making food maybe, and then I'm getting out the door and I'm going straight to work. So
Mhm.
what adjustments have you had to make in your life to give you more time and space for peace, for calm moments, so that you're able to move through your day with more ease?
What's that quote where they say, if you don't have time to meditate for 10 minutes, you got to meditate for 20. If you don't have
Yes.
time to meditate for 30, meditate for an hour. It's so
Yes.
real. It's so real. If you have time, you have time. We have time to scroll on social media and watch our TV shows. we have time to sit there and meditate, that I've had to make time.
Yes.
Yeah, no matter what. Like I
Yeah.
have a Shakti mat now, and I like to lay on it, and that's like my time to meditate.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I need like the link to that.
Oh my God, girl, I'll send it right after.
I love this. Okay, so for you attracting all of these clients, you obviously just had this huge, huge month in business. Your best month so far, the last 4 years, right?
I'll be three on
Three
Sunday.
years. 3 years on
3 years
Sunday. Oh my gosh, how divine.
on Mother's
Okay.
Day.
Wow. Okay, so with recently like just attracting all of these new clients and holding space for more clients, like how have you been able to do that? How do you like how are you attracting more people? How are you getting more bookings? What do you feel like has really changed from what you were doing back then versus where you're at now?
I I think I've just been leaning more into being myself, putting my own personality on my in the types of posts that I get out too. It
Oh
just
gosh, we have a place to go in here. Keep going.
yeah, because it's like I feel like it's so easy to be like, oh well, this girl's doing this, so like I'm gonna do that because that works for her. But honestly, do what you want. Like get creative.
Yeah.
Like I will say, shout out to Dem because Dem helps me with my posting and that has helped a ton. But like where we she's helped me put my own twist on things to where
Yeah.
my content attracts the client that matches me. And I've gotten more clients that are very spiritual and we talk about like the woo woo stuff and I love it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just manifestation is so big for me. I have manifested so many different things just by speaking it into existence and just being like for example, you always say like the G wagons on your story. I always say, "There's my car." When it drives
Yes.
by, I'm like, "There's my car."
Yes.
But really, just
Okay.
speaking it into existence of just being like, I know the having the faith that like the right client will find me too. I think it's just
Okay.
sitting in that and like knowing, just in knowing that it's going to happen.
Have you ever had a fear of being your full authentic self?
Yeah, 100% because I feel like I mean, shoot, girl, I got bullied when I was a kid. So and that was me being myself. And then I was like, oh, and then I went mute at school for like 3 years because it was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not safe to be me being a Hispanic girl. Well, actually, my school actually was pretty diverse at the time, but I was like, I got made fun of for speaking Spanish. And so then it was like, oh, I need to shut that part of myself off because it's not acceptable. It's like you're either, for me, it was then when I moved to my next school, it was like I was too Hispanic for the white kids, but then too white for Hispanic kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like in the
Yeah, so you're
middle.
constantly facing this judgment in a sense. And
Mhm,
of course, that would like dim your light. I feel like that was a big part of also what we've worked through together with almost every single one of my clients. Like when you're with us in person, when you're with even me, I'm working on this too of just being like even more myself online. But like when we're all together, we're fully ourselves, I feel like. But then on social media, it can be sometimes really hard to like convey those other parts of you because you're presenting yourself to people you did go to middle school with, high school with, people that live in the towns next to you, people who knew a past version of you. And when you're showing up as the most authentic version of yourself, it feels very vulnerable. But you've been able to really like step into this era where I feel like when we are on your social media, it's like we know who Emily is. We're not getting this like perfect curated whatever type of version of you. It's like this is who I am, take me or leave me, and I'm just going to be
mhm,
myself. And now you've literally attracted more clients than you ever have because of that intention. And I think that
mhm,
that's so important. And also what you said too about just following your joy, following your authenticity, following your creativity. Like instead of trying
mhm,
to do what everyone else is doing, you need to figure out like what lights you up the most, what makes you the most excited and
mhm,
feel most alive and just continue to do those things. And that is what's going to catch so much fire. Like that's going to
mhm,
attract the people who are meant to be in your world. And even with that, showing up with intention. I'm sure for you, you're hosting and holding space for so many clients on a weekly basis. How do you how do you work on your energy management to make sure that you're not soaking up too much from your clients? Because I know that's obviously a really personal space for you and every
Mhm.
single one of your clients that walk through your door.
Well, I actually took this away from when you and I were working together. I used to book myself back to back, almost no breaks in between. And I started doing like 30 minutes in between every single client at least, because that way I get to clean my room, I get to reset. I'll do like a little 5-minute meditation in between clients. I like, I've also just made a choice within myself that like I can hold space for my client, but I'm also choosing to let go. Like, if let's say they told me something really heavy, something very emotional, and like I am sensitive. I feel like things very deeply. So I I've had to have that boundary and like agreement with myself of like I can hold space, but I also choose to let it go right after.
Uh,
I'm not going to take it with me. I'm not going to take it home. Like I
Yeah,
never want to like do I come home and like get excited and talk about my day? Yeah, but like
totally.
I'm not going to come home in a bad mood because of something from my day or
Yeah,
something one of my clients told me. I always want to be there to hold space for them while also honoring myself at the same time.
as you should, which you said that you've been
Hmm.
learning a lot of boundaries lately. What
Yeah,
is there any other boundaries that you feel like you are just really clicking for you at the moment?
I will say sticking up for myself.
Ooh,
I I feel like I've stayed in friendships because I didn't want to like rock the boat. I haven't been someone that likes confrontation, and I would let people talk to me however they wanted to, and then I felt bad because then I'm like why am I allowing this? And I realized the more I like stay true to me and like trust my intuition too, because I feel like before I would ignore it just for the sake of other people. People pleasing is something I was like heavy like on letting go and leaving in 2025.
hmm,
But yeah, just I feel like it's just so important to honor yourself, but especially um Romeo and I were talking about this, my husband. We we both come from cultures where it's like you just want to keep everyone happy. You don't want to upset people. It's like y- and you end up like putting yourself on the back burner for other people.
yeah.
And then that's when you start to lose trust within yourself, which is what I realized that I was doing for so long.
Yes. How has trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and trusting that the universe is providing for you, how has that supported your internal growth, but also your external growth within like your business world?
So I've just had to trust that God, source, whatever it is to you. For me it's God, but God has a reason for every single thing that happens. I don't believe in coincidences.
Hmm.
And just trusting. And like whenever we feel anger, whenever we feel like fear, anything, any like lower vibrational emotions, I feel like we're resisting the natural events that
Yeah,
are just meant to
evolution.
happen. Yeah. And I I feel like this was especially last year when I was in my car accident.
I
That
was
was a
just about to ask you about that.
girl.
How did
I
that
was
affect you? Hmm.
I was over here pissed off. I'm gonna be so honest. I was pissed off for like a week. And I was like, why did this happen? I had always wanted like a blacked out car with black rims, tinted windows. We had it and it was taken away, totaled. And I was so mad about that. And Romeo was like we're alive. And I'm like, you're right. And I think it's natural to get upset when you like care about something that you like have wanted for so long. But also, I don't get me wrong, I was grateful to still be here. And I after watching the footage of the accident happening, I was like, oh my gosh, like that was kind of solidifying for me, like, wow, the way that there was like we were able to get over so with such ease, all the cars moved over just so gracefully. I was like, that was truly a miracle that we're still here. And I truly believe it was like a second chance at life. And it taught me to just be grateful for every single moment that we still
Mm-hmm.
have, because you never know when your time is up. And I ended up finding out that the lady that was in front of us was pregnant that we hit. So I'm honestly grateful that they hit us rather than them,
Yeah.
and her baby was okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes things don't make sense to us,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like when we just bring it back to gratitude, it helps you to see more and understand more of why things happen.
I agree.
I'm
Yeah.
honestly grateful. It's crazy. I will say I'm grateful for that happening, as scary as it was, but it
Yeah.
definitely I don't it doesn't it didn't traumatize me, cuz I know there was a bigger reason for it
Isn't that
happening.
beautiful? Like that is such a perspective that such few people can have. And I've been through three accidents, but two that were like pretty bad. And I could say the exact same thing that like the way that those two events changed my life for the better were like they were meant to happen. Like I really it makes no sense, but I'm super grateful that that was within my story, within my journey, because it did give me a completely new perspective on life and supported me in ways that I could not have imagined when it was happening or right after it had happened. But now looking back hindsight, I'm like, oh my gosh, that really changed the way that like I operate and the different things in my life as well. So I definitely can relate on that end. As
It's a
for
beautiful thing.
mhm.
Honestly, it's like seeing the beauty even through dark things that happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
and I think that like that's a big part of what we were talking about throughout your childhood and your experiences in your adolescence. Like you're able to look back on those experiences in a different light when years ago that was probably the most traumatic things, probably still will always be the most traumatic things you've ever gone through, but you're able to see it through a new lens and
Mhm.
you're able to not allow these things to affect your worthiness and your
Mhm.
confidence any longer. And I think that
Yep.
that's something extremely honorable because now the place that you're currently at, it's like you are, because you've done so much internal work, it has affected your external. And with like now, today, you're taking on coaching clients yourself, women who are in the beauty industry, other estheticians, you've helped them grow their businesses or start their businesses. And I would love to know how has that journey been for you now, being the person who gets to guide these other women through that journey of entrepreneurship?
It's a beautiful thing, because I I always got in my head so much, being able to be the guide for someone else that's going through that as well, and like helping them with any like little hiccups that might come up, or things that are keeping them stuck. It's just a beautiful thing to see them like overcome those things and like build more confidence within themselves. And I I'm actually just hired an assistant, and I'm also going to be mentoring her because she wants to go solo. So I'm just really excited to pour into her and really see her grow
Yeah,
and flourish,
yeah.
because it's truly such a beautiful journey. I never thought I would start my own business, but then when I found aesthetics, I was like, okay, yeah.
Hmm.
This is my calling, as someone that, 'cause I struggled with acne for so long. Then I was like, I was just talking about it this week, and I was like, I was really over here getting called pizza face, and I turned that energy, and I was like, let me turn a career out of this.
Yeah. as you should, which is amazing. Like the amount of people that you're impacting because of the level of education, the work that you've done on yourself. Like it's so beautiful to see that the way that you have invested in yourself now gets to get passed on to the people, any of the people who you interact with. And then on top of that, then they pass it on to those people that they interact with and support. And
Mhm.
I just love the domino effect. Like that is something
Yes.
that just makes my heart so happy. And honestly, it makes all of these experiences, even the challenging ones that we've all gone through, so worth it because now we're able to share from a place of I've been through that and I
Yep.
understand where you're at. And like when you notice another esthetician comparing themselves or whatever, and you're able to give them that support, it comes so full circle that you're like, wow, okay, that's why I went through it so fucking bad because I was meant to have this specific conversation with this specific woman that
Mhm.
is allowing her to have this huge unlock, this massive breakthrough. And it makes all of the things that you've gone through worth it. And that's such a
Mhm.
beautiful gift that we get to have. Like our experiences are worth so, so much and can make such a huge impact on others when we're open and willing to share.
Yes, and that made me think of, like, the imposter syndrome that comes with, like,
Ooh,
being
yes.
in this space. I swear, the imposter syndrome, and it's so funny because, like, I remember there was one day one of my friends said to me, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing so good, like, you're one of, like, the top estheticians in Cincinnati," and I was like, "Why am I having such imposter syndrome right now?" And it's like, me having struggled with that, whenever that comes up for, like, any of the SDs I coach, I'm like, "Okay, I've been there, so it's like I can be there for you for that because I get it." Like, it's like the relatability of it.
Totally. Yeah, and it's a
Mhm,
real thing. I think that it's also this interesting experience when your career and your life is just absolutely taking off. You're in it and it's really hard for you to acknowledge the success that you're having or the life-changing experiences that you're having. But then when you look back on that time, like 3 years down the road, you're like, oh my gosh, that was my prime. And everyone in the moment is telling you, this is your prime. This is the best you've ever done. Like, you're absolutely fucking crushing it. And it's really hard for us to see ourselves in that experience. But I think that taking the time to celebrate those moments and like actually when people are telling us those things, like feeling it in our body, like, oh my gosh, I've made it. Like I've actually made it to this beautiful place that I've always wanted to be in. Like slowing things down. I think that even meditation is something that supported me with this, is like actually realizing that in the present moment, I am so abundant. I am so cared for. I am so supported.
mhm,
Like, it's such a beautiful experience, but it is so interesting when you're not able to kind of see that. And the imposter syndrome, it hits for, I feel like every single human being on earth. It's so
mhm,
easy to doubt what is innately our skills or our talents or our like whatever that it is, like our just natural essence. It doesn't feel like anything special. It doesn't feel
mhm,
like we're doing anything that's like groundbreaking, but to another human being, they're like, how does your mind think that way? Or how do you move your hands in that specific motion while you're giving me a facial? Like those
mhm,
smallest things that are just such a natural gift for us. Those are the things that we tend to doubt the most because they're just like talent. It's just simply talent. And it comes so easy for us. And a lot of times we think that the things that are going to bring us the most money are supposed to be hard and challenging. But actually, what brings us the most abundance is just simply what's the easiest and what brings us the most aliveness, the most gratitude,
mhm.
the most joy in that moment. Hello, my love. If you are listening to this episode right now and you are just resonating so hard, and you know deep down within you that you desire and deserve more out of this life, you want to live your life to the absolute fullest, you want to accomplish all of those dreams that you have had within you ever since you were a little girl. You're ready for more fulfillment, more freedom, more joy. I am inviting you to apply to my one-to-one mentorship program. This is for women who feel internally that they know I am the right person to guide them. I am the right person to be there to support them in getting to the next level, to let go of anything that is holding them back so that they can step into the most abundant and free version of themselves. If that is you, I invite you below to fill out the link, apply to work with me one-to-one, and I will get in touch with you. We'll schedule a call and we'll really see if our energies are a match, if we are a good fit for each other. I would love to have you with me.
Yes. Yes. It's there. You just made me think of this song that I like to listen to, and it literally says, life is simple. Like, don't stop overanalyzing. Life is simple. And it's like, it's so real because we were always so like go, 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 and like in the flow of things. And it made me think of like with the accident, that's what really showed me slow down.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was over here trying to be responding to like messages. Meanwhile, I had a concussion. And and Romeo was like,
Yeah.
girl, like this is what this is showing you. And I'm like,
Totally.
wow. Like I was never forced to slow down that much. And it was for like 2 weeks. And I don't think that I I think that sometimes it takes going through like really difficult things to finally see something and like
Agreed.
recognize
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you really have to hit like a rock bottom or a really challenging situation for us to like finally have that aha moment of something needs to change here. And I even think like when you first started working with me on our first phone call together, like I remember you saying, I'm just done being stuck. Like I'm just done being in the same place.
It
And
was
I
like
think
over my own shit.
yes, that's it. That's exactly what it was. I'm over my own shit. Like, and I think that sometimes you just have to get to that point to where you finally are in that place of, I physically will not do this any longer. Like, I'm just fucking done. And that is as challenging and as like, oh my gosh, just hard that that place can be. It is the life-changing moment of, okay, it's
Mhm.
time to do something differently. And I'm going to go
Yeah,
a completely different direction than I ever have. And I think that those are the moments that, like, as challenging as they are, they really do lead to the most support, the most abundance, the most freedom, the most fulfillment. And in your world where you're currently at, like, you've really made it to that place. And I think that it's just so beautiful and needs to be celebrated every single fucking day.
agreed. And I think that when you're going through it, if you don't take the time to slow down and really like soak in like all the things that you're doing, and even the little things, just celebrating that. I used to like not even I remember I used to kind of just be like, "Oh yeah, like it's my year in business, like what it's cool." Now I buy like a little birthday cake and I'm like, "We're going to
Yeah.
celebrate this." Like even with my sobriety, I bought a little cake at 100 days, I bought one at 200 days. Like I was like, this is something to be celebrated. And
Yeah.
because if you don't, I remember this was something that I brought up to you. I was waiting for Romeo to be the one to celebrate things that was happening for me.
Yeah.
And you were like, girl, you need to celebrate your own things. Cause it's like if you don't
Yes.
show up for yourself, like you can't expect it out of other people.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so important. I really think that the growth that you have had internally has just absolutely shifted everything externally, even your relationship, which is really beautiful. And you have chosen to invest so much into this relationship and into the growth of this relationship, the deepening of this relationship. And I think that that's so honorable. And I'm just so incredibly proud of the way that you have this mindset of, I just want to be better. I want to be there for my husband. I want to be there for my clients. I want to be there for myself. You want to be there for your family in a lot of beautiful ways as well. Like you are somebody who just innately wants to be the best version of yourself. And I just think that there's so many people who float through this life and are very unconscious to a lot of things around them. And you've taken so much control and decided, as much as we love to surrender, you've also decided to like choose every single day to show up with intention, to show up with this mindset of how can I evolve? How can I bring support to others? How can I bring more confidence to other human beings? Like it's so beautiful, Emily, and I'm just so freaking proud of you. So proud of you. I appreciate you so much for having this conversation with me. Is there anything that you'd like to add as we start to wrap up?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on here. I am
Totally.
so honored and just so happy to, you know, share my story. And I just hope that whoever's listening to this, like, remember just to not give up on yourself, even when you hit the lowest lows. Um, because I have been like in very dark, like low places and felt like giving up, didn't want to be here anymore. And just remember that, like, whatever you're going through, like, there's probably someone out there that relates. And there's like, just don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Know that there's always going to be a reason for why things are happening, and things are always going to work out no matter
Yeah,
what. Just
I
having
love
trust.
this.
Yeah.
And reach out. And please ask for
Yes.
support. Like, please ask for support, even if it's just to us. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care. Our DMs, Emily and I both, like, we're so open to support. We're so open to help. And if you're listening to this and you are going through a tough time, like, we are sending you so much love. And yeah, I think that was really needed to be said. I'm really happy that you said that, Emily.
Of course.
Yeah.
I just know what it's like to be in that really dark place and feel like no one understands, no one relates to me. But it's
Yeah.
like there's people out there that do.
Yeah, they relate, and there's people out there that have just gone through that. There's people that are there to support you and hold you in those moments, and we're always here. So I'm
Mhm.
so happy that you're listening to this because this was meant for you to hear right now.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And Emily, thank you again for coming on. Congratulations to all of the success, all of the internal peace and tranquility that you are experiencing today. And I'm just so proud of you. And I love being a part of this journey.
Thank you, Queen. And same goes to you. I'm so proud of like the growth that I've seen from you, your podcast, you just amaze me.
Oh,
And
thanks,
just seeing
Emily.
how many women you inspire and just all the love you always have to give, even though I know like you and I be going through it at the same times, but but like, but just the way you still show up, like you just amaze me. And you're just such an incredible mama to
Thank
Aria.
you. Thank
Of
you.
course.
I accept that and I receive that. I receive that to the depths of my soul. Thank you, I love you
Oh, thank you.
loads.
I love you.
All right. Thank you guys for listening, and we will chat with you next time. Bye.
Bye.